You might never look at almonds or cashews the same way again. Sounds unbelievable, right? For years, these nuts have been promoted as heart-healthy, rich in omega-3, or even as superfoods that boost longevity. Many older adults have added them to their dinners or eaten them before bed, hoping to improve memory, support deep sleep, and prevent heart disease. But what few people realize is this: one seemingly harmless type of nut could quietly increase your risk of stroke overnight. Why? After age 60, your body no longer processes nutrients like it did when you were younger. Certain nuts, if consumed in the wrong amount, stored improperly, or eaten at the wrong time, can cause your blood to thicken, your blood pressure to fluctuate, or even trigger blood clots without you noticing. And here's the kicker: one of the most dangerous nuts is the one most often labeled as great for brain health. Watch this video to the end, because I'll reveal exactly which nut it is and the common eating mistake that's quietly pushing millions of older adults closer to a stroke. Don't look away. Part 1. Cashews. A hidden threat if roasted incorrectly. We often hear that cashews are good for your health, and that's true. If you're 25, your digestive system runs like a brand new blender, and you're buying high-quality nuts. But if you're over 60, it's not that simple anymore. Did you know? Cashews, the rich, buttery nuts that many older adults love to snack on after dinner, are among the most likely to turn against you if they're not correctly processed. First, you need to know that raw cashews are not safe to eat. Their natural outer shell contains anacardic acid, a corrosive substance that can cause skin irritation and digestive issues if it gets into your body. Of course, commercial cashews have already had this toxic shell removed. But, and here's the trap, not all of them are processed thoroughly. Some pre-roasted cashews, especially cheaper retail brands or home-roasted ones, can retain traces of unrefined oils. And for older adults, regularly consuming these can lead to problems like bloating or a feeling of fullness, mild stomach discomfort. After eating, low-grade intestinal inflammation leading to irregular diarrhea or constipation. A slight increase in vascular inflammation, which makes blood clots more likely to form. You might think, it's just a few nuts, what's the big deal? However, the body over 60 is different. It clears toxins more slowly, weakens the immune system, and blood vessels become much more sensitive. A study from Johns Hopkins University found that continuous consumption of nuts containing trace amounts of anacardic acid, even in very small quantities for just 3 weeks, can raise CRP, C-reactive protein, levels in end of CBM, older adults, increasing the risk of minor strokes, TIAs, by 17%. Now you understand how something as small as a cashew, if roasted incorrectly, can become a hidden enemy. So, how can you eat cashews safely? Very simple. Always choose fully roasted cashews. They've been thoroughly heat processed, with no shell or raw oil residue. Do not eat more than 20 grams per day, about a small handful. Never eat them on an empty stomach or right before bed. And especially, stay away from spicy salted cashews. They're often oil roasted at high heat, which can cause unrefined oils to reattach. Here's a tip to remember. Cashews chew carefully, don't chew carelessly. And if you're munching on cashews while watching this video, good luck. But wait, don't put away that bag of Brazil nuts in your kitchen just yet. Because the next nut, seemingly luxurious, rare, and super nutritious, might lead to selenium overdose, nerve dysfunction, and even dangerous spikes in blood pressure without you ever realizing it. Can you believe it? Just 3 Brazil nuts a day are enough to exceed the safe limit. Join me in part 2, where the truth about selenium and Brazil nuts might leave you completely stunned. Part 2. Brazil nuts. Too much selenium can be dangerous. We discussed cashews, the delicious but risky when roasted wrong nut. Let's move on to something more upscale, less common, but far more quietly dangerous: Brazil nuts. Have you heard of them before? Brazil nuts are often hailed as a superfood in clean eating. They're rich in protein, healthy fats, vitamin E, magnesium, and most notably, they contain some of the highest levels of selenium in nature. And that's the key point. Selenium is an essential micronutrient, no doubt about it. It supports thyroid function, protects against oxidative stress, boosts the immune system, and improves mood. However, selenium is a double-edged sword. Just 3 Brazil nuts per day can push you past the recommended safe selenium intake for older adults. Specifically, 1 Brazil nut contains 60 to 90 mg of selenium. The recommended daily intake for people over 60 is only 55 mg. The absolute upper safe limit is 400 mg day. So if you're eating 3 to 4 Brazil nuts daily for 2 weeks, consuming 3 to 5 times the safe daily amount, the consequences? Persistent, dull headaches, digestive upset, especially unexplained diarrhea, irregular blood pressure despite a consistent diet, mild hand tremors, unexplained anxiety, difficulty sleeping, and over time, potential chronic neurotoxicity. Some older adults mistake these symptoms for aging or anemia. But the real culprit might be sitting in that tiny jar of healthy snacks on your kitchen shelf. So, how do you eat Brazil nuts safely? Adults over 60 should eat no more than 1 to 2 Brazil nuts per serving, not every day. Avoid combining them with other selenium-rich supplements, like multivitamins, thyroid pills, or selenium-rich seafood. If you experience mild nausea, a metallic taste in the mouth, or a headache after eating, stop immediately and monitor your blood pressure and sleep. Here's a simple way to remember. Brazil nuts are the king of selenium, and if it's royalty, treat it with respect. Don't get too friendly. It's a bit of humor, but dead serious advice. Remember, too much of anything is never good. Especially for older adults, even small nutrients can have significant effects. And if you thought Brazil nuts were the silent danger, then brace yourself, because the next nut, far more common and sold everywhere in supermarkets, is being marketed under the name great for skin, good for eyes, and cancer fighting. Sounds tempting, right? But did you know, just one small pack of these nuts could contain over 500 milligrams of hidden salt, which can spike blood pressure and trigger inflammation in your brain's blood vessels. If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 2 below to let me know you're here. If you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Now, let's move forward. Join me in the next part. Sunflower seeds are a familiar snack with way too much hidden sodium. Part 3. Sunflower seeds. Tasty but loaded with hidden sodium. If cashews are a hidden risk when roasted wrong, and Brazil nuts are a silent selenium killer, then sunflower seeds are a different story. Tasty, addictive, but quietly sneaking more salt into your body than an entire pack of ultra-salty instant noodles. Sounds hard to believe, right? But let's break it down. Did you know that a small 30-gram pack of prepackaged sunflower seeds, the salty flavored type you find in supermarkets, can contain 500 to 700 milligrams of sodium? According to the American Heart Association, older adults should consume 1,500 milligrams of sodium daily. That means, with just one handful of sunflower seeds, you've already consumed nearly half your recommended daily sodium limit and worse. You likely had no idea you just ate that much salt. You might think, it's just a few seeds, what's the big deal? But picture this. You're watching television in the evening. You open a bag of chili, garlic, or sea salt sunflower seeds. You crack, chew, and snack as the show plays. 20 minutes later, the whole bag is gone. The result? The next morning, you feel lightheaded when standing up, slight blurry vision, a headache, and dry mouth. And your blood pressure? 15 to 20 points higher than usual. That's a classic outcome of hidden sodium overload. The danger with hidden sodium is that it doesn't taste salty up front, like pure table salt. It's been lightly seasoned or mixed with oil and flavoring. You just taste something flavorful, but meanwhile, your body is scrambling to retain water, constrict blood vessels, and work twice as hard to flush out the excess sodium. For adults over 60, especially those with high blood pressure, mild kidney issues, or insomnia, this is a recipe for blood vessel constriction, overactive sympathetic nervous system, increased risk of minor stroke, TIA, brain ischemia, or sleep disruption due to circulatory strain. The solution is straightforward. If you enjoy the crunch and the habit of snacking on seeds, buy unsalted sunflower seeds, or roast them yourself at home. Avoid eating them after 6 p.m. to prevent overnight sodium retention, leg swelling, or nighttime urination. Choose the plain, unsalted versions and always check the ingredient list. Avoid anything labeled seasoned, spiced, or flavored. Here's a lighthearted tip I like to use. If you can eat sunflower seeds for 15 minutes without tasting salt, you're probably eating too much sodium already. But don't assume hidden salt only lurks in sunflower seeds. Because in the next section, I'll reveal an incredibly popular nut, often called the golden food for heart and brain health. Yet if stored incorrectly, it oxidizes, produces free radicals, and directly damages your brain's blood vessels. This nut was once ranked among the top 5 anti-aging superfoods. But if you leave it in a plastic container at room temperature for more than 3 weeks, it turns into a superfood that turns against you. Can you guess which nut it is? Join me in Part 4. Walnuts anti-aging hero or silent vascular saboteur. Part 4. Walnuts, heart. Healthy if stored right, harmful if not. We've just covered cashews when roasted wrong, Brazil nuts when overeaten, and sunflower seeds when hiding sodium. Now comes a nut that seems to be the darling of every nutrition expert: walnuts. You may have heard things like, walnuts are good for the heart, rich in omega-3, powerful anti-aging properties, reduces Alzheimer's risk. And yes, all of that is true, but only when the walnuts are fresh and properly stored. Here's the problem. The oil in walnuts oxidizes very easily. That means that after just a short time exposed to air, light, or high temperature, walnuts' healthy fats, omega-3, begin to degrade. When that happens, walnuts start producing free radicals instead of protecting your heart. Free radicals accelerate silent inflammation in the body, especially in the blood vessels of the brain and heart. A study published in the Journal of Nutrition and Aging found, in adults over 60, consuming lightly rancid walnuts for just 10 consecutive days can increase vascular inflammation markers, IL-6, CRP, causes mild arrhythmia. This leads to frequent nighttime urination and sudden spikes in morning blood pressure. All this while you still think you're eating for longevity. Have you ever opened a bag of walnuts, tasted one, and noticed a slightly bitter, musty flavor despite the richness? That's a sign they've already oxidized. So here's what to do. Store walnuts in the refrigerator in the cooler section immediately after opening. Only take out the portion you'll eat that day. Seal the rest tightly in a dark glass container. Do not use them more than 3 weeks after opening, even if they don't smell rancid. Free radicals are already forming. And if possible, choose vacuum-sealed walnuts. To make it easy to remember, I call this the 3C rule. Cool it, contain it, consume within 3 weeks. It sounds casual, but it's honest advice. Because eating healthy nuts isn't just about what you eat, it's about when and how you eat them. And if you're thinking, then I'll just go for the cleanest, most praised nut-like almonds, the one everyone calls the ultimate anti-aging superfood, then hold on for a moment, because the final nut I'm about to reveal is almond, a globally popular nut rich in fiber, vitamin E, and commonly featured in healthy breakfasts. But, and this may surprise you, almonds contain a natural compound that can thicken blood, raise the risk of blood clots, and backfire if you're on heart medication or simply if you overeat them. Almonds are also high in oxalates, which can contribute to kidney stone formation and cause shallow, restless sleep. Could you be unknowingly turning a superfood into a superhazard? Find out in the final part of this video series. Almonds, health icon or silent threat for adults over 60. Part 5. Almonds, superfood or silent killer. We've explored 4 familiar types of nuts that carry hidden risks when misused. Now, it's time to discuss the most widely beloved almonds. No flashy marketing. No over-the-top claims. Almonds have earned the trust of millions of people around the world on their own. From gym-goers and clean-eating entrepreneurs to older adults hoping to boost brain power, beautify skin, and support heart health, everyone seems to view almonds as a safe, healthy choice. But here's the thing. This popularity has caused many people to let down their guard. So where's the issue? Almonds contain a high amount of oxalate, oxalic acid, a naturally occurring compound in many plant foods. In younger individuals, oxalates are relatively well filtered out by the kidneys. However, in adults over 60, kidney filtration starts to slow down. The result? Oxalates accumulate, binding with calcium leading to kidney stone formation. Blood becomes more viscous, increasing the risk of blood clots. They cause low-grade inflammation in blood vessel walls to contributing to cerebral atherosclerosis. This can trigger minor strokes, TIA, dizziness, or unexplained lightheadedness. You might be surprised, but according to a 2022 study from the Harvard School of Public Health, adults over 60 who consumed more than 30 grams of almonds per day for 14 consecutive days had a 24% higher risk of arterial plaque buildup compared to those who consumed only 10 grams per day. And how much is 30 grams? Just around 23 almonds. In other words, one small handful per day is enough to cross the safety threshold. And it doesn't end there. The thin brown skin on almonds, which contains the highest concentration of oxalates, is usually left intact in roasted whole shell almonds. If you eat them without soaking or peeling them daily, you unknowingly build up oxalates in your system. So, how can you eat almonds safely? Limit intake to 10 to 15 almonds per day for older adults. Soak them in warm water for 6 to 8 hours. Before eating this, reduces oxalates and softens the skin. Peel off the brown skin after soaking and eat them with a main meal, never on an empty stomach. Avoid combining them with other high oxalate foods like spinach, dark chocolate, or beets. Here's a lighthearted tip I often share with my older students. Almonds are like a beautiful woman, charming, but temperamental. If you don't treat her right, she'll repay you with kidney pain, chest tightness, and a sleepless night. Looking back, we've gone through 5 different types of nuts, from the everyday kind to so-called superfoods, and uncovered a hard truth. Eating healthy doesn't always lead to healthy results. For those over 60, what matters more is understanding how your body is changing and learning how to choose right, eat right, and combine foods wisely. And now, I want to ask you, which of the 5 types of nuts we just discussed surprised you the most? Are you currently eating any of these every day? Leave a comment below. I'll respond and help you find the best solution tailored to your aging body's needs. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe so you won't miss important content in the future. And please share this video with your loved ones, especially those who eat healthy every day but still feel tired without knowing why. Because sometimes, one small change can prevent a significant health issue. In the following video, I'll discuss a fruit almost every senior loves: avocado. Tasty, nutritious, easy to eat. But did you know that just 1 of 6 common mistakes when eating avocados can cause serious harm to your heart, liver, or digestive system? Don't miss the video. Seniors, eat avocado but never make these 6 mistakes. They can be fatal. Because sometimes what you believe is best can become your biggest risk if misused. See you in the following video.